Hey, this is Joe. Thanks for coming back for another video. Sorry I've been out for a week or so. I've been fighting this damn cold that's been going around. So as you see here, I have a differential for my bus, and I also have a transmission that is out of the bus. So I need to adapt my floor jack in order to be able to lift and mount the differential and the transmission. So let me show you what I purchased. Before, when I pulled the differential and the transmission out, I rented a transmission jack. Again, that adds up a bit. I was out looking on the web and I found one of these transmission jack adapters. And on this adapter, there's a cylindrical mounting point here. And that's supposed to slide in to the floor jack. And then you can have access, or you can convert your floor jack to a transmission jack. But there's a couple of issues here. Let me show you what I've run into. I have a 3-ton Harbor Freight Pittsburgh heavy-duty floor jack here. This lifting point right here is fastened by a 10mm Allen screw. So by unscrewing that, we can take that out, and removing this large bolt or adapter, you notice we can remove the floor jack portion, and there's a flat plate here that this mounting adapter screws in. The problem with this hole is right around 15/16 or just under 1 inch in diameter. If you look at the adapter, or the mounting adapter on the transmission jack adapter, it's quite large. If we try to mount that into the hole here is way too small. What we're going to do is we're going to take this transmission jack adapter and we're going to do some modifications to it so it will fit into that 15/16 inch hole in the floor jack mounting point. Let's go ahead. I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. We've removed the bottom mounting plate by removing the snap rings from the larger hole right there and the smaller mounting rod right there. So now what we can do is we're going to remove this threaded rod portion of this base plate. What we're going to do first is we're going to drill a hole all the way through the base plate here so we can have a center hole so that we can then enlarge that to fit our jack plug here that mounts onto the floor jack. And then we're going to take a cutoff wheel and cut this rod plate off of this base plate. And then we can take a 1-inch hole saw, and using proper cutting fluid, we can then drill through the mounting plate here once we grind off this pipe fitting here, or this plug fitting on the end of this, and then we can mount the rest of the transmission jack portion to the floor jack. We have the base plate of the transmission adapter mounted to a vise. This is the hole saw we're going to use. But what I've done is mounted a drill that is slightly smaller than this center drill on this hole saw. So we're going to drill through here, and then that way, and then we can remove this mounting adapter and then drill the 1-inch hole through the base plate. I had to switch to a Colbalt drill bit. This metal is pretty hard, so the Colbalt bit seems to be working a little bit better than the titanium. Okay, we have our cutoff wheel, and we're now going to gently cut this adapter off. Make sure you wear your safety goggles, your gloves, and any protection PPE that you have, personal protection gear. Okay, you get the idea. I'm going to go ahead and cut that adapter off camera. Using the grinder, we've now cut this adapter off. Don't touch it, it's really hot. Now we're going to get a flap wheel and we're going to smooth out this base plate where the grinder I had to slightly bevel the wheel up to get all the way through this adapter. So let's get a flap wheel and smooth that out. Okay, we have the base plate pretty level now. Now we're going to get the hole saw, put some cutting oil on there, and very gently at a slow pace cut through the base plate here. I'm going to have to use another Colbalt drill. This plate is really hard. What we've done now is taken a 1/4 inch Colbalt drill bit, enlarge that hole slightly, and then we have our hole saw with a 1 inch bit with a pilot drill. And then what we can do is very gently drill the larger 1 inch hole, again using lots of tapping fluid so it won't dull your hole saw. And again, you want to go slow with this. You don't want to go fast because this metal is very hard. So you want to let the teeth of the hole saw do the work, pressing not too terribly hard, but again, let the teeth do most of the work and try to keep that hole from enlarging over the 1 inch. And we're almost all the way through. And there, we've cut the 1 inch hole through the transmission jack adapter base. And now what we can do is let's clean this up and do a test fitting on the floor jack to see how it works. We've taken a rat tail file and we've knocked all the burrs off the outer edge and the inner edge of this 1 inch hole. Now we can take our screw adapter here and we can then mount this. Now there's going to be a question here. There is a rod, an adjusting rod that goes in this large hole right here, and this is to set the angle of the transmission jack either up or down. So we have to determine by trial and error whether we want this adjusting knob in front of the floor jack or behind, facing toward the rear of the floor jack. So temporarily what I'm going to do till I determine what's the best way is I'm going to take the 10mm adapter and we're going to screw this in with the large hole facing toward the front of the floor jack, and then we're going to assemble everything back together. If this doesn't work optimally for me, then what I will do, I will loosen this and flip this base plate around so the adjuster is on the rear side of the floor jack. So at this point we have the adapter mounted, the adapter base plate mounted to the floor jack with the 10mm Allen head. This is again right around 15/16 diameter adapter, this adapter screw going into the floor jack. So let's go ahead now and assemble the base of the transmission jack adapter, and then we'll see whether we need to keep it the way it is or move it back around the other way. We have the large adjuster shaft in place. Now we have the base of the transmission jack that will tie in with this rod, and there's spacers on each side of this rod. So what we're going to do is put the spacer on, and then what we can do is take and push the shaft through with the spacers, and now we can take and put the snap ring on there. We have the transmission adapter mounted onto the floor jack, and as you notice, if you adjust the adjuster here, it changes the fore and aft angle this way. So as you're jacking your floor jack, it could change the angle of this, and that's what this adjuster can do. Once you get your either your differential or your transmission up, then you can adjust this to align the holes. Now, also looking at the diagrams, there was no diagram that came with the instructions. I had to go out and look on the product diagram on Amazon where I picked this up. You also can rotate this way, and you can mount some angle iron brackets here, which could go around the base of the transmission or differential. So by keeping that adjuster on the base plate a little bit loose, you can pivot that, or if you really want to secure it up, you can get in with a small 10mm Allen wrench and tighten that up once you position it where you want it to. In with the kit, they also give you some chains, so you can wrap the chains around these angle iron brackets. They give you also some mounting hardware, so you can mount the angle iron pieces to the slots in top of this plate here. And there's also some assorted gussets and various hardware in here. So if you want to take notice, the angle iron have slots on them, so you can also run your chains across these slots to fit a variety of different sizes of transmissions or differentials. And again, all that mounting hardware comes with the stand. So I'm not going to hitch all that up right now, but when I get ready to lift my differential and transmission, we'll do another video and show you if this is a feasible option to use. But again, all the images I've seen, it looks pretty straightforward to lift a transmission or a differential. So that's pretty much how you mount this adapter, this transmission jack adapter, to a Harbor Freight floor jack. So hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for the next video when we show actually how we're going to use this to mount, again, a differential and a transmission. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.